you may be familiar with the statue as a lawn jockey. But its true, historical connection is that of sacrifice and patriotism. For this statue's correct name is the Faithful Groomsman, and its story is that of an unsung hero.
Christmas Eve, 1776. George Washington's colonial army is crossing the Delaware River in the Battle of Trenton. On shore stood a 12-year-old boy named Jocko Graves who wanted to sign up for battle. The soldiers tell Jocko he's too young for battle, but he can serve the country another way. In the event the British soldiers took the upper hand, our colonial soldiers would need a fast exit back to camp. Jocko was put in charge of providing a source of light for their quick return. He would care for the officers' horses and keep the lanterns burning so the troops could find their way home.
The colonial army under Washington's command crossed the icy Delaware River. They endured freezing temperatures and challenging river conditions. These weather conditions are often cited as contributing factors for our troops winning the Battle of Trenton. But these same conditions left their mark on young Jocko too.
On December 26th, when the troops returned to camp, they found young Jocko Graves dead. Jocko had never left the spot where he was ordered to keep watch, his lantern still burning, clenched in a frozen hand.
Washington was so moved by this young man's dedication that he commissioned a statue in his honor. The statue was called the Faithful Groomsman. This cast iron sculpture depicted Jocko holding his lantern, embodying the symbol of patriotism.
Well, that's how the story goes. Over the years, there have been efforts to contextualize Jocko's significance. Some historians discount Jocko Graves' death as some fictionalized story. Some commemorate his truth and bravery in museums, while others claim he never existed at all. This begs the obvious question: if the Faithful Groomsman story is at all fictionalized, what historical significance does it hold, if any?
Slaves, including free black slaves, fought for our freedoms. Many gave the ultimate sacrifice, their lives. You may be familiar with Crispus Attucks, often recognized as the first black man to die for the rebellion. But thousands of other black patriots helped this country gain its independence. Most of them you'll never hear of. These individuals were some of our country's earliest heroes.
The Faithful Groomsman statue celebrates the value in valor, and the statue's impact on history is real, as it would take on major life-changing roles some 50 years after its creation. During the time of the Underground Railroad, homes and locations would use the statue of Jocko as a way to communicate. The Underground Railroad operated covertly. It relied on a system of abolitionists, sympathizers, and safe locations for escaped slaves to find refuge on their journey to freedom. The Faithful Groomsmen became part of that covert signaling system. A green ribbon tied to his arms indicated safety. A red ribbon meant go to the next house. Years following the Underground Railroad, replicas of Jocko appeared. As different versions morphed over time, so did the significance of Jocko in our history.
Today, collectivists only spotlight negative parts of our history, and our history needs to be reflected upon in its full context, including an objective reflection of its good parts, for we are a country course-corrected beyond its sins. Some of you watching this will only attempt to focus on our sins, or a statue morphing into less flattering forms of itself. But why put focus there? Like your own personal relationships, history can be flawed and complex. It's how we get beyond our circumstances that shapes our character and our future. So perhaps the legend of Jocko can encourage us all to be better versions of ourselves, individuals that put purpose before vanity and love of country before hate.
Truth or allegory, the statue of Jocko Graves represents perilous bravery, something we all should aspire to uphold. putting purpose before superficial wants or self-focus.
So when you see versions of the faithful groomsman, take pause. Don't take the bait. Resist erasing it from our history's ugly parts. Dig deeper. Reflect on our history and context, for then it is less likely for the ugly parts to repeat itself.
Lastly, take a moment to appreciate our good parts. There are a lot of them. That's right. They are in every single freedom we have. And give memory to those who made our freedoms possible. It is with that sentiment that Project Promise proudly announces our new series, Forgotten Black History.
Visit ProjectPromisePortage.com all through the month of February to hear of Black heroes and stories often neglected in current history narratives. Examples in purpose and valor, like the legend of Jocko Graves holding his lantern as a beacon of sacrifice and liberty for us all.